what are the demand determinant factors and what is the demand functions. The demand function is defined as, that is functioning of different factors of demand as a price of the product, income of the consumer, taste and preference of the consumer, next size of the population, advertising and other different factors, which by functioning of these all factors the demand for the product changes. So changes means increasing in demand or decreasing in demand occur. So these are all called as a demand factors. So today we discuss about how the factors affect to the demand, that is that depending upon these factors how the demand for a product changes. So the first factor of a demand is price of the product. That is the first one is price of the product. P as a price of the product. Demand for the product is inversely related to its price. Demand for the product is inversely related to its price. If price rises, the demand falls. If the price rises, the demand falls. This is the price effect on demand. That is the depending upon the price of the product, the demand changes. The mainly if you observe any product demand, mainly that is the demand for the product changes, that is depending upon the price of the product. For example, if the product price decreases, so number of customers are ready to purchase more and more goods. If sudden rise in price occurs, so automatically you drop the product for purchasing, or you drop the product for purchasing as a less quantity. So that is the relationship between price of the product and demand is inversely relation. That is the they are inversely related, because by change in price, that is increase in price, the demand decreases, and by decreasing in price the demand increases. So the reverse relationship in between the price of the product and the demand for the product. So that is the one of the demand determinant factor is the price of the product. And second one, I as the income of the consumer. Income of the customer is also one of the determinant factors for a demand. As the income of the consumer increases, there is a tendency to buy more and more. So the demand is directly proportional to income. If the customer income increases, the demand increases. If the customer income decreases, the demand also decreases. So the relationship between customer and the customer's income and demand is direct relationship, that is directly proportional to income. The demand of the product is directly proportionate to income. That is the relationship between income of the consumer and product demand. If you observe, if you have a more money, so automatically you're ready to purchase more and more goods. If your money, that is you have a less money, automatically you purchase less quantity of goods, or in sometimes that is you drop to purchase the particular product. So that is the relationship between income of the consumer and product demand. And next determinant factors of the demand is substitute or complementary goods price. Substitute or complementary goods price. So in this concept, what are the substitute goods and what are the complementary goods? If the customer expected to increase or decrease income in future, the demand also changes. That is the expectations, that is the substitute. If you observe the price of the substitute or complementary goods, so what is the substitute good or what is a complementary goods? The demand for the product depend on price of substitute and complementary goods. That is the in first condition, in first factors of demand, we discussed that the price of the product changes the demand for the product. But in this condition, that is a substitute and complementary goods demand determine the product demand. That is the substitute and complementary goods price determine the demand for the product, that is called as a substitute or complementary goods price that determine the demand for the product. So what is the substitute goods? Substitute goods are the alternatives to our products. Those are the alternatives to our product which fulfill the same needs. Substitute goods means there are the alternative to our goods. That means which fulfill the same needs like our product. For example, if you want to purchase a TV, so that is like that if the what features or what facilities or what satisfaction and entertainment the TV gives you, if the same product is available in the market, so that fulfill the same type of the needs, so automatically you give the option to other products. That means that if the TV gives entertainment to you and it contains number of options, so same features product is available in the market with less price, so every customer is ready to move to other product instead of TV because it fulfill the same needs. Like that, the substitute goods means that is alternative to our product, alternatives to our product which fulfill the same needs. So automatically in these situations, if the substitute goods price is very less, so customers move to substitute goods, that is for purchasing. If the price of the substitute goods increases, so automatically they are ready to purchase our product. So that is depending upon the substitute goods price, the demand for our product changes. For example, tea is a substitute to coffee. Tea is a substitute to coffee. If the climate is that is very cool climate, so automatically everyone is give preference that is to take any hot, that means to take a tea or coffee. These are the two options are available, that is there are two options are available for taking tea or coffee. If the tea price is high when comparing to coffee price, that is the price of the tea is more when comparing to coffee, so automatically that is the customers moves that is to take coffee because the price of the coffee is less when comparing to tea. In some situations, if the coffee price increases, so that is the customers are ready to take tea or to purchase tea. So this is the substitute goods. Tea is a substitute to coffee or coffee is a substitute to tea. And at the same time, that is a cool drinks and ice creams. In a summer season, if you want to take any cool item, so automatically you give preference to ice cream or cool drink. If the ice cream price is high, so you give preference to a cool drink. If the cool drink price increases, you give preference to a ice cream. So like that, the substitute goods means the same type of the goods are different, but they fulfill the same needs. They fulfill the same needs, so those goods are called as a substitutes. For example, tea is a substitute to coffee, ice cream is a substitute to cool drink. So by changing in the substitute goods price, the demand for our product changes. Next of all, next concept is complementary goods. What are the complementary goods? Complementary goods are the main inputs to the product. That is the complementary goods means the goods which act as a main input to our product. That means without this complementary goods, there is no output. Without this complementary goods, there is no output. That is the production of our output is impossible. So those type of goods are called as a complementary goods. For example, sugar is a complementary to sweet. Sugar is a complementary to sweet. That is for production of sweet or for sweet manufacturing. The sugar is compulsory. Without sugar, if you make a sweet, that is not called as a sweet, it is a hot. Okay? That means sugar is necessary for production of sweet. So those goods are called as a complementary goods. So in some situations, if the sugar price increases, so automatically the sweet shop owner increases the sweet price, because by increasing the sugar price, his production cost increases, so he increases the sweet price. So sugar is the complementary for, because sugar is a complementary for sweet. If the sugar price increases, sweet price automatically increases. So by increasing the sweet price, the demand for the sweet decreases. The demand for the sweet decreases. If the sugar price suddenly decreases or the sugar price suddenly falls, so automatically the sweet price also decreases, so the demand for the sweet increases. So that is depending upon the complementary goods price, the demand for our product changes. That is the one of the determinant factor. The demand determinant factors are, that is the price of the substitute or complementary goods. Substitutes are tea and coffee are the best substitutes. By changing in the price of the substitute goods, the demand for our product changes. And complementary goods are, that is the main input for our output production. By changes in complementary goods price, the demand for our product also changes. Next one is, that is expectations about future price. Expectation, that is a next determinant factor of demand is, that is the expectations about future price. Future price expectations, that is if the customer have a knowledge, or if the customer expected, or if the customer aware of the changes in price of the product in future. That is, he know about the future price changes of a particular product. So this also affect the present demand. If the future expectations about a price, that means if the customer have a knowledge, that is in future the product price increases, or in future the product price decreases. If you have the information about a future price changing, so automatically it affects at present demand. It affects on present demand. For example, that is after the budget, if you expected, that is the electronic goods. For example, cell phones prices decreases in future after announcing the budget. The government, after announcing the budget, in future the cell phones price decreases, that you have the information. So automatically you postpone the purchasing of cell phones in future, because the price decreases in future. So at present the demand decreases. That is, the product price decreases in future, yet present demand also decreases, because that is you are ready to if you are ready to purchase the product at present, but by decreasing the price in future, you postpone your purchasing. So that is the one of the determinant factor is expectations about the price. And at the same time, rice, if you expected, that is the next month, if the rice price decreases, so automatically you purchase it at the present month, that what you need, and you do not purchase the product as a extra. That is the you do not purchase the product in a safe mode. You purchase only what you need or what are the necessary at present. So like that is the expectations about the price. The customer expected to increase or decrease in price in future, the demand also changes. అంటే సపోజ్ మనకి నెక్స్ట్ మంత్ మనకి రైస్ ప్రైస్ తగ్గిద్ది అనుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ ఏం చేస్తాం, మనకి ఎంత కావాలో అంత రైసే పర్చేస్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. ముందుగానే మనం స్టోర్ చేసుకోవడం, లేదంటే ఎక్సెస్ గా కొనుక్కొని మనం పెట్టుకోవడం అనేది చేయమన్నమాట. అదే ఫ్యూచర్ లో అంటే సపోజ్ నెక్స్ట్ మంత్ రైస్ ప్రైస్ బాగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది అని అనుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం, మనం 1 బ్యాగ్ కొనాలి అనుకున్న వాళ్ళం కూడా 4 or 5 బ్యాగ్స్ పర్చేస్ చేసి స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాం అనమాట. ఎందుకని, ఫ్యూచర్ లో అయితే ఇంకా ప్రైస్ మనకి ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది, ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ కొంటే మనకి సపోజ్ మనకి ప్రైస్ అనేది డిక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది అన్న ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ అనమాట. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఫ్యూచర్ లో రైస్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది అని అంటే ప్రెసెంట్ డిమాండ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది. అదే ఫ్యూచర్ లో రైస్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది అంటే ప్రెసెంట్ డిమాండ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది. అదే ఫ్యూచర్ లో డిక్రీజ్ అయ్యిద్ది అని అంటే ప్రెసెంట్ డిమాండ్ ఏమైంది, డిక్రీజ్ అయింది అనమాట. So this expectations about the price also determines the demand for a product. And the next determinant factors of demand is expectations about the income. Expectations about the income. If the customer expected to increase or decrease in income in future, the demand also changes. That is, if the customer expected that his income increases or decreases in future, so the demand also changes. For example, if the customer expected that is the in next month, that is his income increases by giving bonuses or incentives to the employees, that is by giving bonuses or incentives to the employees, the income of the customer increases. If you have the information that is in next month I get more and more income, or my income or my salary increases. So in these situations, that is at present he complete his that is he uses his money completely without any savings, because in future he have excess money, so that is to save the excess money in next month. So this type of expectations also changes the demand for a product. Or if the customer have the information that is in next month or in future, he have in future his salary is very less and his salary containing some income tax cuttings. So automatically that means that is in next month or in future he get less salary. So he purchase very less product at present. That is, he save the money at present for using in future. So this changes in income of the customer, expectations about a income of the customer, that is that changes the present demand for the product. Next determinant factor is size of the population. Size of the population. Based on the size of the population in the particular region, the demand also changes. That is, the demand for the product is depend upon the size of the population. If in a particular area, that is the population is huge, very high, so automatically the demand is high. And if the population in a particular area, if the population is very less, the demand also less when comparing to the population of in a particular area, and when comparing to a less populated area, the demand also changes. So the changes, that is based on the size of the population, the demand also changes. If suddenly in a particular area, for example at the present situations, that in villages, that in rural areas, that is the population increases, because that is the from cities all the peoples moves to villages, that is for their protection from a COVID-19. So in these situations, that is the population in village increases when comparing to cities. So in this situation, if you purchase any product in a village, the demand for the sales for a product increases. And at present situation, if you sell any product in a city, the demand for the product decreases. That is, the demand is very less. So that is the size of the population. Size of the population also determines the demand for a product. Next determinant factor is distribution region of the consumer. Distribution region of the consumer over different regions. That is, over the different regions. The different region, the demand for the product is different. Distribution region of the consumer over different regions, the demand for the product is different. So distribution of consumers means when comparing to overall the world, that is in some regions the population is very high, in some regions there is a less population. If you observe, that is in the different foreign countries, the population is very less when comparing to India and China. So like that, depending upon the distribution region of the consumer, the demand for the product also changes. And at the same time, that is the depending upon those regions, climatic factors also determines the demand for a product. Those regions, climatic factor also determines the demand for a product. For example, cotton cloths demand in India and woolen cloths demanded in USA. That is the we use mostly, that is our climate is hot when comparing to USA climate. So we give preference, we give preference, that is to purchase the cotton cloths. But in USA or in other countries, that is their climate is very cool, so that is they give preference to woolen cloths. So depending upon the region, distributed region, depending upon that region's climatic factor, the demand for the product changes when comparing to cotton and woolen cloths. Cotton cloths demand is high in India and woolen cloth demanded in USA. So that is the distribution region of the consumer over different regions. This is also one of the determinant factors of a demand. Next factor is advertising efforts. Advertising efforts. First of all, what is advertising? Advertising and what is the use of advertising? Advertising means that is the process or the process of a company to give awareness to the public. To give awareness to the public, that is called as a advertising. By the help of the advertising, that is the company give awareness to the public as a particular product is available in the market with some X, that is the X product is available in the market, the product containing the different type of features. So that type of presenting the features, that is the type of that is giving awareness to the public about the what are the features of a product and what type of the product is available in the market. The type of giving awareness or providing information to the public is called as a advertising. So the company chooses different type of advertising efforts, like as with the help of a TV channels, newspapers, and some type of announcement. So these are all give the information to the public, that is some X product is available in the market and it containing different type of features and what is the use of that particular product and how to fulfill the needs, that this product how to fulfill the needs of the customer. So that type of the awareness is giving to the public by the help of a advertisements, with the help of different channels like as a radio, television, newspaper, and by the announcements. So these are the advertising channels. And if the advertising expenses increases, the demand for the product increases. If the advertising expenses increases, the demand for the product increases. If the advertising expenses decreases, the demand for the product also decreases. That means if the company spend more and more money on advertising expenses, that means if you watch a TV serial or if you watch a movie, every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes, that is to give a particular advertisement in the TV channel. So automatically that is if you give the advertising in a TV channels every 5 minutes or a 10 minutes, so it molds the people or it molds the people towards the product. So the demand for the product increases. For example, if you watch the movie, the particular soap or particular shampoo ads are frequently watched in the TV. So automatically if you want to purchase the shampoo, so you ask that is some X type of the company, you give some X type of the company shampoo. That means by frequently watching the particular product ad, that is it molds the ad molds to you towards the product. So that is by providing by excess expenses on the advertising effort, the demand for the product increases. If the advertising expenses decreases, the demand for the product also decreases. That is, if you spend less money on advertising expenses, the demand for that is a sale for the product decreases. If you spend more and more money on the advertising efforts, the demand or the sale for the product increases. So this is also one of the determinant factors of a demand. And next last factor is other factors. Other factors means that is not only the price of the product, income of the consumer, and next advertising efforts, expectations about a future price, expectations about future income. So not only this factor, other factors also determines the demand for the product. So what are the other factors? The first one is taste and preference of the consumer. That is taste and preference of the consumer. Depending upon the taste, depending upon the preference of the customer, the demand for the product also changes. That means if you produce a product which is suitable to the customer taste and at the same time which is suitable to the preference of the customer, the demand for the product increases. Or in some situations, if you produce a product which is not suitable to the customer taste and preference, so in this situation the demand for your product decreases. Depending upon the taste and preference of the customer, the demand for the product changes. If your product suit to the customer's taste and preference, like as a if some customers the taste and preference are their product color, flavor, product color, flavor, shape, size. So these are the different customers containing different type of taste about the product, flavor, color, size, shape. So depending if you produce a product which is suitable to most of the customers taste and preference, so automatically the demand for the product increases, otherwise the demand for the product decreases. And next other factors of demand is age group of the customer. That is, if you observe in the society, there are different age group customers are available in the market, like as a kids, teenagers, senior citizens, young peoples. So these are the different age groups. So depending upon this age group, if you produce a product which is suitable to a particular, for example, in a particular area, if the kids population is high, in that particular area, if you sell the product which is suitable to the kids, that is if some type of the toys or if some type of the kids products are if you sell in a particular area, automatically the demand for the product increases. Or if you sell to the product, if for example, if in the areas where the ladies hostels are, if ladies hostel areas, if you sell the boys product, automatically the demand for the product decreases. That means the demand for the product decrease. The cause is not the quality, quantity, price. That is the cause is only that is the on that particular area, that is the age group, that is the customer age group also identified. Next one is culture. That is the in other factors, taste and preference of the consumer, age group, that is the senior citizens products, kids products, teenagers products. If you sell the product in that area where the particular population is high, automatically the demand increases, otherwise the demand decreases. And at the same time, that is the gender, that is the males or female. The products are different, as some product uses only males and some product uses only females. If you purchase the product depending upon this gender group, so automatically the demand changes. Next one is tradition, cultures. That is a traditions. For example, if you take the traditions and cultures, so if you compare the foreign culture to Indian culture, some goods or some type of clothes sales are high in the foreign when comparing to India. If for example, if the saris, if you sell the saris in USA, so the demand for the saris is less, but in India the demand for saris is high. So that is depending upon their tradition and depending upon their culture. For the best example for tradition and culture and the wearing of the clothes of a different culture is, that is some type of the product, that is a washing machines or some type of electronic goods, or that is they are suitable to a particular culture peoples. They are not suitable to overall cultures or overall the world. Next one is fashions, changing fashions. Changing fashions also determines the demand for a product. For example, changing fashions means that is the if you take any shirt or if you take any type of the watches, so that is the if the fashion changes, automatically the models also changes. So when comparing to old fashions or when comparing to new fashions, that is by changing the fashion, the product models features also changed. If you do not change these features, so automatically the sale for your product decreases. That is the every company's main concentration is to adopt the changing fashions. To adopt the changing fashions. If the fashions are changes, so automatically to change your product features or style or anything shape. So next one is changing technology. So the changing technology is also determines the demand for a product. For example, if you take as a typewriter or a computer or a desktop. So that is the changing technology means 20 years back, that is there is mostly they uses the mostly for printing or for typing we use the typewriters, but at present by changing the technology we use the desktop. So if the technology is changed, if you use the typewriter at present, what is the demand for the typewriter? There is less demand or zero demand, because they are by changing the technology, that is the desktops or a computers gives fast service to the customers, and the typewriting gives that is a very slow service to the customer. So every customer do not give preference to the typewriter. So in this situation, the typewriting demand at present is less when comparing to computers demand. So that is the different other factors of demand are age group, sex, tradition, culture, fashion, and changing technology. So these are the different determinant factors of demand are first one, price of the product. The relationship between price of the product and demand is that is the inversely relation. And next one is that is the income of the consumer. That is a direct relationship between income increases, demand increases. And next one is substitute or complementary goods. Based on the substitute and complementary goods price, the demand for our product changes. Advertising efforts and also the other factors. So these are all the determines the demand for the product, and these are all called as a demand function. That is by functioning of these all factor, the demand for the product changes, that is increasing or decreasing in demand occurs. So the next topic is law of demand. Law of demand. So the law of demand, the demand law, in the law of demand is defined as other things remaining same. The amount of quantity demanded rises with every fall in price. Other things remaining same, the amount of quantity demanded rises with every fall in price. So in this concept, in this law of demand concept, the law of demand mostly concentrate on the price of the product. We already discussed the different factors of demand. Different factors of demand are price, income, substitute goods, taste and preference, size. So, but in this concept, that is other things remaining same. That means the price is the very important factor which determines the demand for a product. In this law of demand, he tells that is the price is the main factors which determines the demand for a product. If other factors like as a income of the customer, size of the population, if other factors are remaining same, that means there is no change in the other factors, but only a small change in price gives a change in quantity demanded. So that is called as a law of demand. If other things remaining same, the amount of quantity demanded rises or fall in, that is by rise or in fall in price. That is called as a law of demand. Other things remaining same, the amount of, that is the change in quantity demanded, that is by change in price of the product, that is called as a law of demand. So in this concept, that is the price is very important factor for changing the demand. That is by changing in price, it automatically compulsory affected on a demand for a product or quantity of sales in a market. So in this concept, that is the price is the very important factor. By changing in price, so it compulsory affected on a product sales or a quantity demanded. But in some situations, that is the law of demand is also, this law of demand does not hold good in each and every situations. The law of demand does not hold good in each and every situations. The law of demand also changes, that is it is also containing some exceptions. In some exceptional cases, the law of demand does not hold good. What is the law of demand? That is a change in price, change in demand occurs. That means increase in price, decrease in demand, decrease in price, increasing in demand. But this law is universal in nature. That means in most of the condition it is applicable. In most of the conditions, that is the price is the very important factor to the customer to changes the demand. But in some exceptional cases, this law does not hold good. What are these exceptional cases are? First one is, that is the first exceptional case is where there is a shortage of necessities feared. Where there is a shortage of necessities feared. If the customer fear that there could be shortage of necessities, if the customer fear that there could be shortage of necessities, they may tend to buy more. They may tend to buy more than when they actually require immediately, even if the price, that is the one of the exceptional case for law of demand is, that is the where there is a shortage of necessity feared. If the customer fear that there could be shortage of necessity, they may tend to buy more than when they actually require immediately, even if the price. That means in this case, if the customers have a fear in their mind that there is a shortage of necessity goods in future, in general, first of all, in general, that is if the price increases, demand decreases. In general, what is the concept? Law of demand. If the price increases, demand decreases. But in this exceptional case, by increasing in price, the demand also increases. By increasing in price, the demand also increases. In general, that is by increasing price, the demand decreases. But in this exceptional case, why? By increasing in price, the demand also increases, because there is the customer feared about there is a shortage of necessity goods in future. There is a shortage of necessity goods in future. In this situations, that is they fear that there is a shortage of necessities. That means there is no necessity goods are available in the market in future. In these situations, that is by increase in price, they are ready to buy more and more products at present. For example, if you take this lockdown situations, in this lockdown situations, if the price of the rice increases, but the customers are ready to purchase more and more, because that is for 20 days there is no necessity goods are available in the market, or mostly the shops are closed. So by their fear, that is they purchase more and more goods, but is by increasing in price. అంటే ఈ లాక్డౌన్ అంటే మనకి సపోజ్ 20 days లాక్డౌన్ 10 days లాక్డౌన్ అన్నప్పుడు జనరల్ గా మనకి నియర్ బై లో ఉన్న షాప్స్ కానీ, లేదంటే జనరల్ గా ఉన్న షాప్స్ లో కూడా మనం కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటే ప్రొడక్ట్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది. ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినా కస్టమర్స్ ఎక్కువ కొన్నారనమాట. ఎందుకని డిమాండ్ అనేది ఎందుకు ఎక్కువ ఉందంటే, సపోజ్ రేపటి నుంచి లాక్డౌన్ కాబట్టి రేపటి నుంచి మనకు నెసెసిటీ గూడ్స్ అసలు దొరకవు. కాబట్టి మనం సపోజ్ రేపు మనం ఎక్కువ ప్రైస్ పెట్టి కొనాలి అన్నా అవి అవైలబుల్ లో ఉండవు అనమాట. అలాంటప్పుడు కస్టమర్స్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే, సపోజ్ నెసెసిటీ గూడ్స్ ఫ్యూచర్ లో మనకు దొరకవు కాబట్టి ప్రైస్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నా ఎక్కువ కొన్నా అనమాట. జనరల్ గా అయితే ఏం జరగాలి, ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే డిమాండ్ డిక్రీజ్ అవ్వాలి. కానీ ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఏమైంది, ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినప్పటికీ డిమాండ్ కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది అనమాట. వేర్ దెర్ ఈస్ ఎ షార్టేజ్ ఆఫ్ నెసెసిటీస్ ఫియర్డ్ that there could be shortage of necessities, they may tend to buy more what they actually require. వాళ్ళకి జనరల్ గా కావాల్సిన దానికన్నా ఎక్కువ పర్చేస్ చేసి స్టోర్స్ చేశారనమాట. ఎందుకంటే ఫ్యూచర్ లో ఆ నెసెసిటీ గూడ్స్ అనేవి అవైలబుల్ లో ఉండవు అనుకున్నప్పుడు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ ఎక్సెప్షనల్ కేస్. అండ్ సెకండ్ వన్, వేర్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్ ఈస్ సచ్ దట్ ఇట్ కన్ఫర్స్ డిస్టింక్షన్. Where the product is such that it confers distinctions. So some type of distinction products means that is those are called as a Vauban goods. Vauban goods means that is the goods which give prestige to the people. That is by purchasing a particular goods, that is it gives prestigious to the customer. Those goods are called as a Vauban goods. For example, the best example to the Vauban goods are jewels, diamonds, gems, jewelry, diamonds, gems. So these are all called as the Vauban goods. So that is the high class peoples are ready to purchase these type of goods, that is by increasing in price, not the decreasing in price. That is, if the goods price increases, they feel that is to purchasing this type of the product as their prestige. That is, they feel that to purchase this type of the product as their prestige by increasing in price. So in these situations, that is by increasing in price of the Vauban goods, the demand increases. By increasing in price of the Vauban goods, the demand for the product increases. So that is the consumer tends to buy even though there is increase in price. Such products are called as a Vauban goods. Diamond, jewelries, gems. So these are all called as a Vauban goods. And these are also called as a prestigious goods because they give prestige to the people by purchasing more and more by increasing in ప్రైస్. అంటే కొంత గ్రూప్ కస్టమర్స్ ఎలా ఉంటారు అంటే, సపోజ్ ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటే వాళ్ళు కొనడానికి ఇష్టపడతారు. ఎందుకని, సపోజ్ ఒక కార్ ప్రైస్ 50 lakhs అంటే అలాంటి 50 lakhs పెట్టి ఒక కారు కొంటే అది వాళ్ళకి ప్రెస్టేజ్ అనమాట. అదే కార్ మనకి 10 lakhs వాడు ఇస్తానన్నా అలాంటప్పుడు వాళ్ళు కొనరు అనమాట. ఎందుకని, సపోజ్ ఒక కాస్ట్లీ ప్రొడక్ట్ కొనడం అంటే వాళ్ళకి ప్రెస్టేజ్ గా ఫీల్ అయ్యే కస్టమర్స్ ఏమవుతారంటే, ప్రొడక్ట్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినప్పుడే ఎక్కువగా ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ని పర్చేస్ చేస్తారనమాట. సో అలా కస్టమర్ కి ప్రెస్టేజ్ ని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసేప్పుడు, లేదా ఒక కస్టమర్ కి ఒక డిస్టింక్షన్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేసే గూడ్స్ నే మనం ఏమంటామంటే Vauban goods. So in this case, the law of demand does not hold good. That is in this case, that is by increasing in price, the demand also increases. But the law of demand tells that is by increasing in price, the demand decreases. So in this exceptional case, the law of demand does not hold good. And next type of the good exceptional case law of demand is Giffen's paradox. Giffen's paradox. People whose income are low purchase more, such as broken rice, bread, when its price rises. Conversely, when its price falls, instead of buying more, they buy less and use the saving for purchase of better goods such as meat. This is called Giffen's paradox, and those goods are called as a inferior or Giffen's goods. So Giffen goods means that is very low price goods. That is they are cheaply available in the market. Those goods are called as a Giffen's goods, and these goods are very helpful for fulfilling the needs of the poor people. For fulfilling the needs of the poor people, so those goods are called as a Giffen goods. So in next class we discuss about what are the Giffen's goods, and we completed the what is the law of demand and its exceptions. So that is in this class we discuss about what are the determinant factors of demand and what is the law of demand and what are the different exceptional cases for a law of demand. Now in next class we discuss about what are the changes in demand.